Hi, I'm Kendrick Lamar, and you should subscribe to ImConflicted. I don't know why I'm here, but I agree, and turn on post notifications. Hey, I'm Conflicted, and Kendrick Lamar just dropped his first single to his upcoming album, Mr. Moore and the Big Steppers. Today I'm going to be getting into some of the details about this song that I found really interesting. I feel like it's fairly apparent now that Kendrick Lamar is no beginner to making detailed music. He puts a lot of thought into every single project that he puts out and every single song that he puts out. And in general, he's just one of the most detailed and efficient music making artists of all time, probably. Every single time he comes out with something new, everybody gets excited for it. It feels like we're getting a sequel to Easter right now, and I'm very excited for that. So, this album is set to be released on Friday the 13th. I'm unsure of the reason, but that's pretty cool in itself. But I'm just going to get into the content that Kendrick Lamar has blessed us with. So, we have this new song called The Heart Part 5. And in this song, he has 6 hands on the cover art, each being very influential African American men. Each of these 6 people are holding up 5 fingers, and all 6 of those people on the cover are actually people he transforms into, with some really impressive deepfake CGI. He turns into Kobe Bryant, Will Smith, Kanye West, Nipsey Hussle, O.J. Simpson, and Jussie Smollett. I don't know how to say that last one. I'm unfamiliar with them, but in general, he transforms into a bunch of influential people in the black community. And there's a couple of really intricate details that I like about this song, and that was just one of them. Another being where in this part of the song,
consciousness is synchronized and crystal clear.
Here Kendrick Lamar speaks about being synchronized, and then as he says that, his lips actually go out of sync with the music. Another couple details that I'm unsure of was the fact that this song was around the 5-minute mark. It was almost 5 minutes 55 seconds. That would have been cool. But it's still a 5-minute song for the most part, almost 6. And it's The Heart Part 5. I also wanted to point out how there's no cuts in this music video, almost like a one shot. I learned that from film. But he's literally transitions mid-speaking to transform into O.J. Simpson. And he does this by covering his face for like 2 seconds and then looking back up and literally becoming O.J. Simpson. It was pretty crazy. Kendrick shows some brief similarities, not in the acts or on how he acts compared to these people, but like in the fact that what he's speaking about lines up perfectly. He then transforms into Ye when he says the word bipolar. I'm assuming many of you know this, but Kanye is indeed bipolar, and he struggles a lot with speaking. I feel as though Kanye has a difficulty making metaphors that don't sound ridiculous. So he has a lot of good ideas, but they come off really wrong. And to completely understand everything that he says, you kind of have to be in his shoes specifically. So he's often misconstrued, causing many people to have a disdain for Kanye just because they don't understand what he's speaking about. Something to point out is most of these celebrities mentioned are very misunderstood for the most part. And in general, I feel like that comes is fairly common amongst celebrities, just because of the fact that if you're speaking to millions upon millions of people, a lot of what you say upsets a very small group of people at a minimum. He then transforms into Jussie, which I have no clue anything about this person, so I'm just gonna skip this part. He then transforms into Will Smith, which I'm not sure why, but knowing Kendrick, it's probably some really intricate, in-depth reason. But I just wanted to point out a couple really cool things really quick before we get into the next part. When I was doing my research on this, I was looking at this guy's channel called Thought, and I was looking in the comments too, because some people have interesting ideas. And this says also hidden symbolism. Part 5 is the 5th album, and it's also 5 years since his last album. It's the 5th month, the 5th day of the week, and it's 5 days until he drops the album. And then there's 5 different perspectives, and then 5 letters in heart. It's pretty smart. There's 5 letters in heart. There's 5 everything. And yeah, there are so many amazing things about art, and everything can be taken from its own perspective. Like, he made this song, and people can get different things out of it, which is pretty interesting in my opinion, and everybody has their own meaning of art. Kendrick does a really good job at being very specific on what he's talking about, but at the same time being vague and people can interpret everything in this to be, whether intentional or not intentional, they can interpret it to several amounts of tiny bits of genius. Back to the music video, when Kendrick Lamar says "take the drums out," that could also be symbolizing of the end of a heartbeat, because drums are often associated with heartbeats, and he could be doing this to pay homage to the next couple of people who he shows up on here, who are both passed away. Those two people being Kobe Bryant and Nipsey Hussle. I feel like it's pretty respectful, and the way he does it is pretty nice, and in general, just to pay homage to the two people. And yeah, in general, this music video has been extremely impressive, and the amount of depth that he puts into everything is just really amazing. And I'm thankful that we have an artist like Kendrick Lamar. Sorry, my microphone cut out. But a lot of people who are musicians really like to make music, but it's difficult for them to go in depth with stuff just because of the fact that the more time you put into something, the longer it's most likely going to take. And if you don't have enough time to put everything into something, then it just won't be worth it. Because some people make masterpieces, but because of the fact that it doesn't go with the YouTube algorithm. For an example, I could put more detail into my videos, but alongside that, there comes consequences, because it would take more time to do all these genius things that would not be rewarded by the YouTube algorithm. So a lot of these artists are forced to pump out more and more stuff, and Kendrick Lamar is not labeled by that. Kendrick has not dropped a song in 5 years, or anything in 5 years, and still has this massive following, which is like very, very inspirational for the people who want to like just put out masterpieces and masterpieces. And I hope that we find more artists just like Kendrick. And yeah, thank you all for watching my video on this. Before I end this, I want to talk to give citing on how I got some of my research, and I just want to thank a couple people. So there's this YouTube channel called Thought. I'll put them in the description. He pretty much got a pretty in-depth analysis of this entire music video, like very soon after it dropped, like literally a day after it dropped, and he did a very good job explaining everything farther than I would. I didn't want to completely rip his video, so I just used some of the stuff that he used. So I'll have his link in the description. I also used some of his comments, and yeah, that's pretty much all I used for it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm Conflicted, and I'm out. Peace.